guys ready to talk relationships? Because that's what we're doing today. I don't know if I've ever like really sat down and talked about relationships on my channel. Like I think I've talked about my husband, but I don't think I've really like shared that much. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching. Today I'm sharing with you a story, my favorite story, the love story that is mine and my husband's. Can't promise I won't get a little bit emotional because I just get so overwhelmed with like the love that I have for him and I'm just an emotional person, so you'll have to excuse if I do, but I just wanted to share my love story, kind of relationship advice, and kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on how we became married, and not just in the sense of like obviously we got engaged and got married, but like how we talked about it, how we talked about things leading up to engagement and all that kind of stuff, because I still get questions on that a lot every single day. If you are new here, please make sure to go below and click the subscribe button. My name is Mariah and I put up 2 to 3 videos every single week on all different types of topics. It would mean the world to me if you would join my YouTube family, but let's just get into like almost like story time, and it's like my love story. So I don't know if a lot of people know this, because like I know people who know Sam and all that stuff and they know us well, but then they like don't realize that we actually went to high school together. Him and I went to the same high school that was very, very, very small. He was on the track team and he actually he was a high jumper, and my dad was a high jump coach and my brother was a high jumper as well. And so he knew my dad and my brother very well, and I just always knew that his name was Sam Robinson. I didn't know that much about him. I just kind of knew that that's, you know, who he was. He was Sam. He was that quiet blonde boy from high school. And I dated in high school. He dated in high school. And I would think it's safe to say that neither of us dated anybody that was even remotely close to like who we are now. So like he didn't date any girls that were similar to me, and I didn't date any guys that were similar to him. But I did know who Sam was, which actually helped. I graduated in 2013 and he graduated in 2014 from that same high school. And then I went to Converse College and he went to Wofford College, and those schools are very, very close to each other. And Converse is an all-women's college. Wofford used to be an all-men's college. So they kind of have this reputation of like Converse girls date Wofford boys. And while that is true, it's not like I necessarily sought out Sam or like a Wofford boy. They are known for being extremely smart. And so I actually got set up on a blind date with a guy named Sam who was not my Sam. And I was like, oh, a Wofford boy, I bet he's really smart. Sure, I'll go. I'll go to this blind date, this dance with this guy, and it'll be fine. I got to the dance and I was having a miserable night. I didn't want to go to the dance at all. Like I got to the apartment, I guess, before the dance, and I didn't want to go to the dance. I was just like, please. And I called my cousin. I was like, please come get me. And she was like, no. It's like, this date is a flop. She goes, no, you need to stay. You need to go to the dance. Just go and have fun. You'll be fine. I was like, ugh. So to this day, thank you, Ashley. You are the reason that I met my man. But I ended up actually going into the dance, and this moment, sharing it with you guys, I don't know if I've told you guys. I walked into the dance and literally saw Sam standing from across the room, and I knew that he was Sam Robinson, that boy that I went to high school with, but I looked at him and I swear to you with every ounce of who I am right now, God said to me, that's him. Getting a little emotional, not gonna lie. I remember that moment. It was the best moment of my life, like up until that time. And I was going through so much, and I was just going through such a hard like emotional time and mental time, and wow, I really didn't think I was gonna cry in this video, but I was just going through it. And I walked to the dance and I saw Sam, and it was just like God just was like, there he is, that's him. And it was like, although I had seen Sam before, that was the first time I was seeing him as the man that I was going to be with one day. And I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that he was it. It wasn't love at first sight. I just knew that he was who I was going to be with. And it was super overwhelming, and it almost kind of scared me a little bit. So we got into our relationship, and I knew, I kept it a secret from Sam until our wedding day, that I knew the moment that I met him that he was the one. I kind of made up this story that like I fell in love with him over the course of time because I wanted to save that moment to share on our wedding day. So I didn't fall in love with him like I said at first, but I did like ease into it. And at about 3 months into our relationship, I told him that I loved him, and I knew that I did love him, and that was it. And he said he loved me too. We were in a really good place. And then, I don't know if I've said it yet, but we met in 2015. So August of 2015, Sam kind of went through a rough patch with some things that happened. It wasn't like anything he did or anything someone else did, but just basically something has happened and he ended up not like moving in with me, but his stuff primarily stayed at my house. So we were very, very serious about our relationship. And then in October of that same year, I was sitting in class and one of my friends just was like really quick, hey, I gotta tell you something here. And she showed me a screenshot and Sam was on a dating app. And I was like, here we are, thinking that, you know, this guy's got his stuff at my house, like we're kind of living together. We've been dating for so many months. We tell each other we love each other. Like, why would he do that? And so I just completely went crazy and I just like lost it on him and I gave him no reason, like no time to give me an explanation. And I just broke up with him. And so that is something that I wanted to like kind of tell you guys today. You guys have asked me before for relationship advice and I don't know if it's because of my wedding series or because like I've said something that has kind of pinged in y'all's mind, but I have always demanded a certain level of respect in my relationships with friends, with boyfriends, with whomever, and I think that that's something we all should do. You should never feel bad for demanding that someone respect you in the way that you respect yourself. That is my personal thing, and so with me, it was I don't care how he feels or what my emotions are, I demand a certain level of respect from him, and he's not giving that to me by being on this dating app, so I'm done. Well, that was the first time Sam got to see that I was crazy, that I was not playing, and especially when it came to something like that. So he kept trying to tell me over text message, like, I didn't do it, I wasn't on that app, I don't know why it said I was on that dating app, I haven't logged on since I met you, and I was just like, whatever, and I was like this close to blocking his number forever, and I was so mad because I had heard God say, like, that is him. So I thought, like, what the crap is the point of all of this? Why have I been dating this guy for so many months and here he sits on a dating app? And something in me was like, give him the benefit of the doubt, hear him out. Well, he came over and basically he gave me his phone. He was like, here, you're free to go through my phone. You're free to look through my phone, find anything that you need to find because there's nothing there. I haven't been on that dating app. I don't know why. And so I was like, fine. So I go to his app store. It's easy to erase an app, right? So I just go to his app store and I re-download the dating app. And here I am still sitting here like, yeah, you friggin' cheating on me on this stupid dating app. And literally I click on it and it opens up and it's like, welcome back. You haven't been here since, and it literally gave the date and the time since he had last been on the app. And it was like, here's what you missed. And it was literally the week we had started dating. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what happened. So basically what happened was the app is connected to Facebook and he had logged into his Facebook and so it showed that he had logged into the app. When I opened the app, it plain as day said, like, we have not seen you since like February 2015. And I was like, cool, I just made a fool of myself. So after that happened, I definitely was like, you want to take me back? And of course he did. So I kind of showed him my crazy a little bit. I kind of showed him how I felt about certain things in relationships. And, you know, he hadn't been doing any of those things, but I definitely was like, that shows you don't mess with a redhead. Like, no, don't do those things. And so I think from that point on, he realized, like, when I broke up with him, how much he cared about me. So from that moment, like, that breakup was, I think, the moment that he realized he wanted to be with me forever. And that's just assumptions based on, like, how he behaved after that. But that was definitely what happened. It was just October 2015. We broke up. So we celebrated our 1-year anniversary in February of 2016. And I remember I've never been one to like beat around the bush. And so I literally was just like, I found my engagement ring that I want. Actually I found like 5 and you should pick from which one you like. And he was like, okay, that's it. He wasn't scared of marriage. There wasn't like this time frame. I was just like, this is the one that I like. And he goes, okay. And at that time we were 20 and 21. So we were babies. And I think it was just something along the lines of it clicked in his head when we broke up that he wanted to be with me forever. And I had known since the moment that I met him that I wanted to be with him forever. And so we didn't see it necessary to put like this timestamp, like, oh, we need to wait till we're 26 because that's what society deems as reasonable for getting married. And we were just in love, and we knew that we had what it took to like make a relationship work. I think that unfortunately not everybody agrees with living together, and that is totally fine, but I do. And if you don't, like I said, that's fine, but don't attack me for that idea, because I think that is what made us so, like, we realized, okay, we have the same views on these 3 things that matter the most to us. We have the same financial views on how we handle our finances, and we just had, like, everything just aligned. And when we lived together, we learned how to live together while we were dating, and so it just made sense that we get married. I remember I had like showed him, we had kind of narrowed down the rings to 2 very particular rings, and we were talking about engagement pretty frequently. I think when you get to that point, you're equally talking about it. It's not like a one-sided thing. If it is a one-sided thing, that is a red flag. If you're both not in the same place about it, then you definitely don't need to be getting engaged. You don't need to be getting married. Whether it's him, whether it's you, whether it's forced, no matter what, if both of you are not on the same page about marriage equally, don't do it. So we were talking about it pretty regularly, and then I think it was July of 2016. It was just, our relationship continued to move in this really, really awesome place. Probably need to sit up and like look a little bit more decent. But we were in a really good place. And I remember we both worked at the same restaurant, and he came in one July afternoon and he was acting so weird. Like, he was like, he had this secret he didn't want to tell me, and I just was like, what is your problem? Like, why are you acting like such a freak? And he was just like, nothing, oh, nothing. And one of my friends was like, what if he bought your engagement ring? And he did. That was the day that he bought my engagement ring. He just came in and he was like, And so about a month later, my engagement ring came in. I do have a video that shares all the engagement ring details. I'll link that right here for you guys. And again, we lived together, so this was kind of like a big deal, and Sam really sucks at keeping secrets. And so I was just like, okay, I need to officially lay it to rest. I know that he's bought the ring. I know that the ring is officially coming in. I need to just put it to bed. I need to stop talking about it, because I knew that the longer that I talked about engagement, the longer that I pushed for it when he had the ring, the more it was going to make him hold off, because he wanted it to be a surprise. So I definitely was getting my nails done all the time. Like, I was ready for an engagement. We had talked about it for almost a year at this point, and so about November-ish of 2016 rolled around, and I was like, he's going to ask me at Christmas. I know it. I know he's gonna ask me at Christmas. That's what he's gonna ask me, because it's just such a cool time and my family will be around. And I was so wrong. So on December 3rd, I believe. Yeah, December 3rd at 12:20 in the afternoon. So we went on a date. It was pretty common for the 2 of us to go on a date, and it was very, very common for us to go on a date right before finals and say, okay, this is the last we're gonna see each other for like a week and some change, because although we sleep under the same roof, there's a lot happening. We got a lot of studying to do, so won't see you anymore. Okay, let's date, then we'll talk in like a week when finals are over. The day came and I got ready. I had my hair completely curled. I had a cute outfit, because I was like, this is the last day I'm gonna have with this man, but I wanted to look really cute. So we went to eat at our favorite sushi place, and then we went and we're gonna go get some ice cream. So as we're walking, there was this place called White Pavilion. It's in downtown Greenville, and it's absolutely like beautiful. And I wanted to go see what it looked like, because we'd come there a lot during the summer, and I'd actually really fallen in love with White. And so I was like, hey, can we just like stop by White real quick? I want to see what it looks like now that like all the leaves have fallen and the river's darker. Like, show it. I want to go see it. And he was like, okay, cool, that's fine. Calm and collected, he walked with me to White Pavilion. And I did not have my glasses on, and at the time I didn't wear contacts, so I saw this person like in the distance kind of like run away, and they had a camera, and I was just like, okay, you know, it's downtown Greenville, people are probably just taking pictures. And we went inside White, and he asked me to marry him. It was the sweetest moment ever. I will never forget the look on his face. And then I found out that my friend was actually that friend with the camera. He took pictures of our engagement, so we have the whole thing. And it was just like the sweetest moment ever. And it was such there was like this overwhelming calming feeling knowing that like he and I were in the same place about marriage, about each other, and that we were going to be together forever. And that love at that time was the most love I'd ever felt. It was overwhelming. I mean, just crazy overwhelming. And then my wedding day came, and I'm gonna get really emotional again because it was just like a man that wants to be with you will make no excuses. He'll just want to be with you. And so every like ounce of heartache and heartbreak and bad date that I had went on, it all made sense leading up to my wedding day, which is why I'm like obviously sitting here like a loser crying in front of you guys right now, because my wedding day approached and I just realized like everything led to this day, to this moment. And I want to read my vows to you guys because I think that will kind of make you understand exactly what led up to me and Sam. But when I was pronounced his wife, it was like I had entered like the sublime. Like that's how strong that feeling was that I had for him. It was overwhelming, and like I can't even describe it right now. I spent the first 3 days of my marriage dizzy because I was that in love and that sure of him and that overwhelmed that God loved me so much that he gave me Sam. And I want to share this story with you guys because I want you to know that like I have been through hell and back with relationships, with bad boyfriends, with being mistreated. But once I started demanding a certain level of respect and then also praying and a lot more, I got the man that does everything that he can every single day to show me that he loves me. And he is the greatest husband in the world. And I definitely didn't think I was going to cry sharing my love story, but I have the best husband ever. And I wanted you guys to know that. And although you don't see him here on my YouTube channel, I wanted you to know that he is the like full other half of me, like the best half of me. And I felt like I really wanted to share our love story with you guys so that you could understand me a little bit better and you could understand relationships a little bit better. But also, if you need that sign that tells you you're not with the right guy because he doesn't treat you right or this or that or whatever, this is that sign. So I'm going to finish out this video reading you my vows. I wanted you guys to hear them. They weren't in the entire wedding clip. There were only little clips of them, but they were really sweet. And I think that you guys will kind of understand a little piece. So I'm going to just like put wedding photos over because I know I'm going to be crying like a baby and it ain't going to get cute. So I just want to click to that right now. But before I do that, make sure to go below and click the subscribe button if you are new here. Give this video a thumbs up. If you like hearing love stories like I do, thank you guys for watching me sob as I talk about how amazing my husband is. And I hope that I see you in my next video. So let's just clip and you guys are going to hear some sweet moments. My dearest Sam, I cannot believe that we are here. I feel like this is a day you and I have talked about for so long that it doesn't seem real. I know this is the time I'm supposed to be sharing my vows with you, but I want to share a quick story first. I'm taking you back to the days when I was just a little girl. I remember being very young when I first learned what a wedding was. I thought it was a day I'd wear a big white dress and I'd get to be a princess. I still remember my sister making fun of me because I kept walking up and down the hallway with a big white sheet on my head. I got a little bit older and learned weddings were more than a white dress and being a princess. It was the day I say I do to a man and we would begin our happily ever after. At first I was kind of sad I had to share my wedding day with a boy because boys had cooties. But I obviously got over it. I got a little bit older, boys no longer had cooties, and I started praying for my future husband because that's what I heard you're supposed to do. So I prayed God would make you pretty and smart, and he did very good. I got older, and I didn't pray for my husband because I had to, but because I wanted to. I prayed that God would bring me a good man who was kind, patient, and really funny, who loved my family, believed in hard work, and always made me feel special. I'd say he hit the nail on the head with that one too. So I kept getting older and I started to get anxious about meeting the one. I stopped praying for the man God would bring me and started praying that he would prepare me to accept that love he created. I prayed that he would give me wisdom and courage to stand up beside a man and take on the role as his wife. I prayed that he too would make me kind, hardworking, and patient. But we're still working on the patient part. I kept getting older and I kept praying. I knew that whenever God was ready, he would let me meet you. So in January 2015, I so vividly remember sitting down and praying again. I told God that I felt as though I was ready to accept whatever love He had for me, and all I asked was that when I met my future husband, I would know instantly. As you know, on February 21st, 2015, I walked into the Black and Gold Ball at Wofford College, and that's where we met. What you don't know, what no one knows, is that God answered my prayers. The moment I laid my eyes on you, I knew. I knew you were the one I was supposed to be with. In case you can't tell what I'm saying, you're the answer to all of my prayers. Even the prayers of a 6-year-old little girl walking around with a white sheet on her head. And although I've known since that moment I would one day stand here and commit myself to you, God gave me the joy of falling in love with you in my own way. He showed me all of the things I prayed for in you over the course of our relationship and promised me that I was actually ready to not just take on the role of being a wife, but being your wife. You are my better half, my best friend, my soulmate, and my constant in this crazy world of change. You have stood in front of me in times of sickness and fear, beside me on days that were quiet and normal, and behind me during the times you just knew I had to take the lead. I never knew that when you fall in love with someone that you can love them so many different ways for so many different reasons. But I once read a quote that described what I feel with you perfectly. It said, falling in love isn't like falling at all. It's like walking into a house and knowing you're finally home. That's what I feel with you, like I'm finally home. And so I promise the following. I promise that I will tell you every day that I love you because no one deserves to hear that more. I promise to love you even when I may not like you and to respect you even when I disagree with you. I vow to stand by you in every stage of life, whether we are laughing or crying, and that includes the times when you make me laugh so hard that I cry. I promise to remember that neither one of us is perfect, but that we are always perfect for each other. I vow to never keep score in our relationship even when I am totally winning. I promise that I'll always let you play with my hair even when it's perfectly pulled up and you really shouldn't be touching it. I promise to always laugh at your really weird jokes and the songs that you sing out loud in your really high-pitched voice. And I promise to always ask you to dance in social situations, knowing that you'll say no and that you save the dance moves for at home when literally no one is looking. I promise that I will choose you over and over again, that I will fight for our relationship, all that it is and all that it will become. I promise that if God is willing to let me, I will give you the most beautiful but wild little children, and I will do everything in my power to be the best mom while also making sure you get to live out your dream of being the best dad. I promise that no one on this earth will love you more than I do, and until I take my very last breath, you will always know that. And whenever that time does come and I pass on to a life greater than anything we can ever imagine, I will then love you into eternity. I don't take the love we have for granted and never will. Thank you for choosing me on that day at Wofford College. Thank you for choosing me over and over every day after that. And thank you, God, for giving him to me. Sam Robinson, you get to be my best friend forever. Good luck.